The first scream came from the kitchen, not the sound of fire or boiling water, but the sound of something breaking inside. A soul, the baby dragon prince, froze in the doorway, his small body trembling as his golden eyes locked onto the human cook kneeling. On the cold stone floor, the cook was silent now, but his arms were shaking and dark bruises covered his skin, like shadows left behind by Krultaris had never seen a human look. So empty Kale lifted his head slowly, and his eyes held no anger, no rebellion. Only exhaustion, as if he had already accepted that pain was his only futurist. His chest tightened in a way he did not understand. Dragons ruled everything in this kingdom. Humans were nothing but servants, trophies left behind after wars. Rice had been taught since birth that humans were weak. But Kale did not look weak. He looked broken, and broken was something Rys's knew too. Rys was the smallest dragon hatchling of the royal bloodline, born with thin wings and weak fire. The elders whispered that he was cursed. The soldiers laughed when he passed. Even his own father, Lord Veilthorn, feared General of the Dragon. King barely looked at him without disappointment. Rys grew up surrounded by strength he could never reach. So he wandered alone through the palace halls, avoiding mockery, avoiding eyes. The only place that never judged him was the kitchen. Kale never laughed. Kale never spoke. Unless ordered, Kale only cooked. Rys had watched him for weeks. How he flinched at footsteps, how his shoulders stayed tense as if expecting punishment every second, how he moved like a man who had forgotten what safety felt like. But today, the bruises were fresh finger marks wrapped around his wrists. A long dark line cut across his arm. Rys stepped forward slowly, his claws tapping against stone. Kale noticed him and immediately bowed his head, trembling. My prince, please forgive me. Rys stared at the bruises. Did this to you? Kale's breath caught. It is nothing. Rys's voice shook. That is not nothing. Kale pulled his sleeve down quickly. I must finish the meal. Rys did not move. Did my father do this? Kale's eyes widened in fear. No, Lord Veilthorn does not concern himself with the servant. Rys understood then. That meant someone else. The guards, the soldiers, the ones who enjoyed pain when no dragon was watching. Rys's throat burned. Humans were not supposed to matter. But Kale's silence felt too familiar. That night Rys's could not sleep. Moonlight poured through palace windows, but his mind stayed trapped in the image of bruised skin and empty eyes. He stared at his own claws. Weak. That was what everyone called him. A dragon who could not roar loudly enough. A prince who could barely breathe fire. What could he do? But something inside him whispered, even the smallest dragon is still a dragon. The next day, Rys's followed Kale quietly through the corridors. He watched as guards approached. He heard laughter, sharp and cruel. Two soldiers grabbed Kale by the arms. The cook stumbled, but did not resist. One soldier shoved him into the wall. You drank wine last night. Humani cleaned it, Kale whispered. Soldier struck him across the face. Kale collapsed without a sound. Rys froze. The world inside him cracked. Stop. The word escaped Rys's before he could think. The soldiers turned and saw the hatchling prince. One of them scoffed. My prince, this is discipline. He must learn his Placerus stepped closer, his voice trembling. He is bleeding. He is a servant, the guard said. Rys's claws dug into stone. And I am a dragon, the guard smirked. Broken one. The insult hit like a knife. Rys had heard it all his life. Broken, defective, weak. But today the word did not crush him. It ignited something deep inside. Rys inhaled sharply. His chest glowed faintly. A pulse of heat rippled through the air. The soldiers stepped back, suddenly nervous. Rys's golden eyes burned brighter. You will not touch him again. Hallway fell silent. Kale stared up at Rys's, as if seeing something impossible. Guards bowed stiffly and retreated. Kale's voice shook. My prince, why? Rys whispered. I do not know. Kale looked down. They will punish you for this. Rys swallowed hard. Let them try punishment. Came that same night Rys was summoned to the throne chamber. Lord Veilthorn stood towering like a storm given shape. His scales were scarred, his horns sharp, his eyes cold. Rys approached small before him. I heard you threaten the palace guards over a human. Veilthorn said Rhys, lifted his head eyed Veilthorn, stepped closer. Do you know what humans are? Rhys, whispered Alivishalt nostrils. Flared there beneath you Esris's voice trembled so. Am I silence struck the chamber Valthorn's gaze, sharpened. You compare yourself to Preris. Eyes filled with tears, I compare pain to pain Valthorn's claws. Flexed pain makes dragons strong Rhys's. Voice broke. Then why does it only make him disappear? Valthorn stared at his son. In his voice lowered compassion, his weakness Rhys whispered. Then, I am weak, stay away from the human. Veilthorn ordered Rhys's heart. Twisted Valthorn's eyes darkened Rhys. Voice rose shaking but fierce. If being a dragon means watching suffering and doing nothing, then I do not want it. Thunder filled the chamber. Veilthorn struck him with his tail. Rhys crashed across the floor. Pain exploding, his wing bent wrong. He cried. Out Veilthorn loomed over him. This is the last time you defy Rhys. Lay trembling tears falling. You already abandoned me. Rhys whispered through blood. Do not pretend this is discipline. Veilthorn froze, something in his eyes flickered. Then he turned away. Rhys crawled out broken. That night, Kale found him in the dark corridor. Human knelt beside the hatchling, his hands trembling as he wrapped cloth around Rhys's injured wing. Oh gods, Kale whispered, do not pity me. Rhys hissed. Kale's voice was soft. It is not pity. Rhys looked at him. Then what is it? Kale's eyes shone recognition. He swallowed. You saved me when no one ever has. Rhys whispered, I could not let them hurt you. Kale's hands paused. Rhys stared into darkness, because when they hurt you it felt like they were hurting the part of me that still believes the world can change. Kale's breath caught in that moment. Something shifted. Not prince and servant, not dragon and prey, just two broken souls sitting in the same silence. But peace never lasted. Days later, Kale disappeared. Rhys entered the kitchen and found blood on the floor. Servants whispered. They accused him of stealing. They are making an exemplar. His chest filled with panic. He ran through palace halls down into the dungeon where humans were forgotten. He found Kale chained to stone. Barely conscious, a guard stood nearby smiling. Release him. Rhys demanded. The guard laughed. The Dragon King ordered it. Humans must remember. Their placers trembled. I and the prince. The guard sneered. Still weak, Rhys's eyes widened again. The word weak. Rhys stepped forward, standing between Kale and the guard. You think kindness is weakness. Rhys whispered. It is. The guard spat.